Hey, what's up, YouTube? We are back again for another test stream. Um, Let me shut off the YouTube sound here for a second, and I promise you we will get to it. We're painting tonight, and I am going to explain to you why we are running yet another. Okay, so here we go. Went ahead and shut that down. Good. Okay. So here's why we're doing this. Today, after last night, the crappy feed that we had last night and tonight, my wife, before I left work today, my wife said, hey, our internet's not doing well, and little boy's mad, and he wants to watch his dinosaur movies and whatnot. I don't know. I got fed up finally, and I said, you know what? It's time to bite the bullet and buy, fix my network. So what I did was I went to the shop and I picked up a new router, and I picked up a shiny new modem as well. So before I was running I was running a piece of equipment which wasn't bad, right? I mean, I was running the the Motorola Surfer, which is a dual router modem, and I usually don't like router modems, and this was a lesson as to why. I just didn't have the control over the network settings, and I didn't set up the. I don't believe the dual band was as easily understood. I bought my other router, so I went ahead. I bit the bullet. Said, hey, you know what? We better just get something and fix it. So that's what I did. So I picked up another Netgear modem, 500N modem, a more heavy duty router. So the router, I think, is really going to be the difference. I went with with a higher end split channel, or sorry, dual band router, and so especially that it's important in a house like ours where downstairs, like down here, we are closer to the router. We're physically closer to the router than most of the other devices in the house, but there's like this. It's weird. There's weird corners in this house. There's like weird pockets of like dead spaces and stuff. So for example, this where I am at here, this horrible hoarder room, this terrible mess of a room here. Are you wireless? Yes, I am. It is in one corner of the downstairs. Like it's like tucked away in its own little corner. The router is actually couldn't be more than 50 feet from here, but it's between a couple of doors and a weird hallway and all that stuff. So suffice it to say, it's close enough, but it's just got weird angles. I'd go wire. I know it's just not an option. If I'm going to be in this room painting. Now, when I stream, like when we stream games, we're often in the other room, and I can, hardwire in. So streaming games from here is not a bad thing. It's mainly, when I'm doing the live feed and I'm painting, we have to be in here. So anyways, I think with the dual band and going 5G on basically all the downstairs devices, and then going the 2.4 on all the upstairs, I think everybody wins, because upstairs the 2.4 signals already seems more stable than what we had before. The 5 down here is lightning quick, at least on the mobile, and I got to make sure that that we can stream. So, suffice it to say, when we get yeah, thanks, Tori. You can buy them for me, and I'll buy them. But anyway, and I'll accept them. But anyway, yeah, that's what we did. We picked up some new hardware tonight, and I'm just testing it. Really, I'm just testing the stream. We're gonna do some painting. I'm gonna take a little break from the Guild Ball and paint this fun miniature here. So you can see, and we're gonna just dial it in here. We're gonna work on more trying to get a, see if I can actually get a little bit better focus on her. That's the plan tonight. And it's an AMA, so you can ask me anything you like. If you are hopping in, welcome to the show. We're just going to work on some painting. I'm going to try out. So here's one of the other dilemmas that I've been working with, right? And I was kind of complaining about it a few shows ago. Okay, bye then. Just trying to help. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Don't sweat it. Anyway, so when painting my flesh, and when I thin with water, some of my Vallejo paints are just too crusty. They're too crumbly. They didn't mix well, and so you get that, like, it looks great like in person, but in the photographs it just looks really like chalky, real like crumbly looking. And so what I need to do, what I've done recently is I've made the skins into glazes, and that it seems to make these a little bit smoother. But now the issue I'm having is there's almost too much sheen to them, so I'm having to come back and do to smooth these out, right? So this is a very, very fair skin model, as you can see, and I am going to use this color, Light Flesh. It's like a really, really light pink, and I'm going to try using this Liquitex matte medium, which I've only tried a couple of times, but now it seems like this might be a good opportunity to try it again. Okay, so I'll use a few drops of the matte medium, and we're going to add some flow improver to it. If I can find my flow improver. And we're going to add our Light Flesh. Well, hello. Hey, what's up, David Love? Welcome to the show. We are not painting Guild Ball tonight, even though I do have those brewers that I need to finish, and I need to do the tartans on them. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not looking forward to painting tartans. It's just, I've never done it before. I'm not good at straight lines. That's just not what I do. So I'll have to see. All right, so let's mix this up. And this, the one thing is, like, this and the flint that I painted the other night have the rare honor of being some minis that I'm painting for myself and I'm not getting paid to paint. So that's why I'm like experimenting with this model. Wow, that matte medium is pretty heavy stuff. This paint feels really thick. I hope it works. I'm tempted to throw a little bit of water in there. You know what? I will. I'm gonna just a couple of drops, just to. Ooh, no, that was a mistake. There we go. Yeah, this so that Vallejo color is prone to separate. So you don't. So adding water to it just kind of makes it powdery when it dries. Okay, but what I want is I want this stuff to be so thin that, you know, I need layer after layer after layer to get it, to get what I want out of it. Ooh, I can't raise that any higher. There we go. There we go. A little bit of comfort here. So I'm just going to kind of stipple the super light color on. And if it's thin enough, it should flow. Should flow off, right? It shouldn't look hairy. Wish to be painting tonight. That sucks. I wish you could be painting tonight too. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. It's not looking very good. That paint appears to just be sitting there. And it's not smoothing out much. Yeah, this is not very promising right now. And the paint really just wants to sit right on there and do nothing. It's just so thick, it seems like it's frosting. Okay. Let's see how that goes. That paint's really just kind of standing up. It's not really flowing out and laying down. Okay, so we're gonna focus in on this one tonight. I think this one's called Teacher's Pet or something, or Teacher's Helper from Takahashi University. And we're just gonna stipple in color on the skin. Yeah, that stuff really just stands there. It's got like no leveling to it. This is not working out so well. I may have to use a different medium, different matte medium. Although, everyone told me the Liquitex matte medium is the best stuff to thin with. I don't know. What do you guys think of? Now, I almost always just thin with water, but again, I've been having this problem with the with my paints not lying down and drying kind of crumbly looking when I thin with water. So for skin anyways, I want it to be super, super smooth. And so I'm painting, so so we're trying out Liquitex matte medium. I also have the Vallejo matte medium too. I could try if this doesn't work. And I think I may even have some like P3 mixing medium to try. Have you tried Extender? No, I haven't. And that's not a bad thought at all, to try Extender. Here's what's bugging me. If you look at the tip of my brush, it's like chunky. It's not, I'm not able to pull it into a fine point with this stuff. I feel like I'm trying to paint with honey here. And with these like anime features being so soft, you know, it's not like you're painting like a muscular guy. There's a lot of soft curves and soft edges here. Let's see. Now she looks really kind of pale. It's not bad, but here. And she's looking pretty cool. She looks okay. I think she looks better now. We'll see how that dries. Let's give her a little bit of red for a tongue. Just tiny little spot of red in there. I can't even get the tiny little tip in there. That's okay. It's so creaky. So, why don't you guys tell me, how is the feed going tonight? Is it better than it was last night? Worse? Is it the same? That's kind of the whole purpose of me turning on the camera right now. So I want to know if my purchase has meant anything to our situation here. All right. Oh. So here's where we're at. Oh, come on, focus. I think she's looking better. We'll see. All right. So now, so let's see. The general idea here is, I guess what we could do is we'll do the stockings white, and the blouse. The stockings and the blouse will be white, like a cool white, and then the skirt, I'm not sure. We can worry about the skirt in a minute. Let's paint some white. So, you know how we do white. We don't quite do white. We do glacier blue, and then we do white at the very end. Okay, and let's try the Vallejo matte medium. See if it. I have thinner medium. Let's try the Vallejo matte medium and see how this does. I think the matte medium will give us extended open time, which will be nice for highlighting this kind of work. Right, so then I'm going roughly 1-to-1 on these. Maybe we can do like a pink for her skirt and her tie, or purple. We could also go wild and do like tartan on her skirt. Ooh, I like this. I'm already liking this Vallejo matte medium. That's nice. That just goes right where I want it to. It's quite nice. Yeah, that looks good. So for something like that, like typically I would still just use water. Things like clothing. Yeah, I'm gonna try this matte medium on the skin because I'm gonna do another. I'll do another layer on the skin. Try to get the skin as smooth as humanly possible. Well, let's do a layer of this glacial blue. I'm liking that quite a bit. All right. So, anyone here watched last night's feed and the magnetic widget that Michael Fortino from Armada Games showed off on the feed? I thought that was really cool. I'm super excited to try it. So we've got that coming shortly. Shortly, we've got that coming. You know, I'm just not used to painting with like, this is like a pretty full-bodied matte medium. Like the paint, I'm like, I need it to flow out a little bit more than either of the matte mediums have given me. The Vallejo matte medium seems like it's flowing out better, but even then I feel like, I don't know, it could just be that I'm so used to painting with water. This reminds me of like painting with a wet palette, how your paints act a little, to me they feel a little too thick out of the wet palette, and that's part of the reason why I don't use a wet palette. But you know, if this works out, then I may move to a wet palette just because it's so economical, and it's easier to leave your paint in the palette. Okay. I think I might have to unfollow somebody on Facebook. Getting too many political posts. I'm gonna rant about that for a minute. That's bugging me. That is. You know, don't get me wrong. Everybody's allowed to believe what they want to believe, but that's part of the problem. Nobody seems to agree with me that everybody's allowed to believe what they want to believe, right? There seems to be this whole trend where, you know, you can shut down discussion, you can shut down arguments with the most childlike behavior nowadays. You know, name calling. It starts with name calling. It's like, oh, okay, well, your opinion's invalid because, you know, because you're this, you're stupid, or you're, and it used to be the worst way to try to win an argument in a logical, sane world. It used to be the worst way to try to win an argument. Just say, oh, well, that person's dumb. No one pays attention to what they say. But now, that's like the way that the mainstream appears to be trying to win arguments, by saying, oh, well, so-and-so is this, therefore, don't listen to them, right? And so you get that. And then you get this whole idea that you can shut down discussion, you can shut down debate by circumstances of somebody's birth. That to me that's deeply, I find that deeply, deeply offensive. And as an American, I feel that it's, I would hope that more of us find that offensive, regardless of whether or not we agree with the speaker, right? Because that's the point. That's the point of being here, is that there are conflicting ideas, and you're allowed to, as a free thinking person, you're allowed to explore those ideas and pick the ideas that you find the most comfort with, or that support your way of life. And this whole idea of, we know what's better for you, therefore this person's right, this person's wrong, end of discussion. That's very un-American to me. It's very un-American. And that I find it to be a very disturbing trend that we're not only tolerant of these kinds of tactics, but we're now endorsing them on a larger level. Like this because this person is a man. Hate this because this person is a woman. Like this because this person is, if you disagree with me, you're a racist. If you disagree with them, you're a sexist. If you agree with them, you're a transphobe. There's no more actual debate anymore. There's no more. And here, the scariest part of that is the term hate speech. I'm going to talk about it for a minute. And I'm sorry for getting political here, but we don't have a lot of viewers, so I can talk shit. I can say whatever the hell I want, right? Hate speech, okay? I despise that term. I despise that term. As a first generation from an immigrant family, from a legalized, naturalized family, and as a minority here in the United States. Hey, what's up, Geek Maximus? I find the term disturbing, okay, because and I'm not saying I don't that I disagree with it. I find it disturbing that that's a means by which we can shut things down, that we can shut down thoughts. Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks for tuning in, dude. We're just painting some Takahashi here, and I'm talking that mess, dude. I'm talking that mess because I got stuff on my mind and no one's asking me any questions, so I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say. Usually gets me in trouble, but thankfully I don't care. Okay, so is it true that there are Kawaii? Nice. Is it true that there are things that you can say to people to instill anger, to instill emotional aggravation and distress, cause potential, incite people to violence potentially? Absolutely. There's the kind of, there is speech, there's attitudes, there are things that you can do to cause some real damage, right? There are words that you can say to cause some potential damage, but I always, I'm from the school that says that offense is taken, never given, and people are going to say upsetting things to you as an adult in your life, being on planet Earth. People are going to say some disturbing, upsetting things to you. As an adult, it's your responsibility to continue to act like an adult, and it's your. I believe it's your responsibility to support as part of a free thinking, Western secular society. It's our duty to allow people to say things like that, right? It's our duty. We have to defend. We have to defend speech that we don't agree with, or there's no point in having freedom of speech in the first place. And this is what's disturbing to me, is that the way we shut down arguments these days is we say, oh, well, that person's hateful, they're a bigot, they're speaking hate speech. Let's shut down hate speech. Guess what? Let's shut down hate speech. Let's make the world a safer place. Let's do that. And I am very, very anti that, right? As much as I am, pro human rights, as much as I am for protecting innocent people, particularly, children, and that sort of thing. I'm very against the idea that you can label somebody else's differing opinion as illegal, hateful, and therefore illegal, right? They haven't committed any crimes. And at this point, are you then saying that there are such things as thought crimes, right? Because quote unquote hate speech comes from hateful thinking. And I'm not arguing that it doesn't, but now you're policing thoughts and you're policing feelings. That's what I take issue with, that you're policing thoughts and you're policing feelings. And frankly, you're using a methodology that was used for the longest time to suppress the free thinkers, to suppress the the people that challenged the status quo, the people that fought and formulated the kinds of freedoms that we enjoy in the Western world, right? Those people were shut down by the orthodoxy of their time. And how did the orthodoxy of their time, how did they justify that? They said, well, that type of thinking and that type of speech is dangerous to society. That's what they said. It's dangerous to our society. It's dangerous to our families. It threatens our culture, our communities, the speech. And they were able to shut down scientists, artists, free thinkers. They were able to shut down people in those days using quote unquote right-wing tactics to define harmful speech and harmful thought. Well, you're doing the same thing today. You turned around and you're doing the same thing. You're using the same methodology, and you're and more so, you've claimed moral superiority in order to get you there. Like, that's a serious problem. And it doesn't matter if I agree with you. Like, yes, okay, I support, I'm just going to pick an issue at random, right? I support gay marriage. Yeah, I do. I don't know. It might upset people, whatever. And let's say I agree with these people who are saying, oh yeah, I support that. I don't agree with them going out and saying, you're a homophobe, therefore we're not going to talk about your opinions at all. And you're not allowed to discuss it at all. You're not allowed to challenge public opinion, to engage in public debate because your thoughts are hateful. Maybe it is. Maybe those anti-sentiments are based in hate. I'm not saying that they're not. But the minute that we say they're hate speech and we're right speech, we fucked up, man. And that's what happened. We fucked up. Because today, and let me just say that, and I told my wife this today because she's like, we talk about this at length. My wife is, she's also a very liberal person, but she's very much like, she supports she supports what she thinks is a favorable outcome for her side of the debate. And I told her, and actually I think she heard this. I said, hey, today you're on the right side of the debate, but the minute they start shutting down speech, the minute they start shutting down opposing opinions, and it doesn't matter that you don't agree with them today, because what's going to happen is one of these days you're going to end up on the opposite side of the argument. You're going to be, what you're saying today could be labeled hate speech tomorrow. And that's the problem I have with defining terms like that and assuming moral ground and then using it to take people's rights away. That's the problem I have. I'm not saying I agree with this stuff. I'm not saying I agree with the sentiments. I'm saying they should be protected. And those are two different things. So yeah, take it for what you will. And it's a disturbing trend that I'm seeing over and over and over again. And there isn't one side that's particularly guilty of it. Both sides do it. It's just that, frankly, one side traditionally did it, and we continue to expect the one side to do it. But nowadays, two sides are doing it. And we need to pay attention. We need to be very wary about that, because it's going to, like I said, it's protecting some people. You think it's protecting some people today, but given time, and given that amount of freedom over your speech, your thoughts, and your feelings, who knows when you end up on the wrong side of that. So, see how preachy I get? You guys better like ask me stuff. Don't let me ramble about this stuff. Just ask me stuff. I'm not going to talk about a gorilla. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about what the hell else is in the news. I don't care. I need to watch more NBA finals, that's for sure. I've been trying to watch a little more basketball. And if for you non-basketball fans, you can call it hate speech. It's hate speech. He likes basketball. Damn him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of the whole school of thought that says we can turn a person on or off based on circumstances of their birth. We can legally define what speech is allowed and what isn't based on a leaning. I take severe issues with that. Even when I'm on that side, I take severe issues with that. That's not how freedom works, people. Anyway, Steph Curry. Yeah. Well, he didn't show up the other night, so I don't know. I'm not paying that much attention to the finals. I think it's cool that now I'm kind of a two minds here. See, I'm gonna ride this fence. I didn't like LeBron when he, 5-6 years ago or whatever, when he was with Cleveland, and he was clearly the one-man show, and he was and he was chasing his championships and coming up short. Then he goes to Miami and wins down there on the basically an all-star team. That's when like LeBron sucked. But in my opinion, that's when I was like, me, LeBron, bleh, whatever, right? Now LeBron he came back to Cleveland though. Like this is like the redemptive arc, right? You know what I mean? I gotta root for him on some degree. Does he have it? Do the Cavs have a chance of winning? A very, 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 very slim chance of winning. I still want Golden State to win because I like Steph Curry. I like that whole team. They're cool. They're young. They're athletic. They got crazy energy. I love that team. They're exciting to watch. They spend a little too much time behind the arc, but whatever. But yeah, they're fun to watch, and I do want them to win. But what I'm saying is, I would actually be a little bit happy if LeBron won in Cleveland, like because it's fun. Like the people of Cleveland, like imagine being them. Like they finally get their redemption. They loved LeBron when he started there. Then he took off to like the high flying Miami Heat. Then he was looked at like a sellout, like a punk, whatever. He wins his championships, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Cleveland. I loved Cleveland. That's awesome, dude. I don't know. Maybe you have a totally different take on it. And you know what? If you do, it's hate speech, and we're shutting that shit down right now. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. That's all I know. Kobe left. Mike, I thought you watched. Well, I know you're a football fan. I know you're a Chargers fan, dude. But I thought for some reason I thought you watched basketball too. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this? For the maybe not. Let's do the white and let's decide. Kobe left the Lakers in ruin. That's another team. I was not a Lakers fan. And, you're gonna kick me out of California here. I was not a Lakers fan for a long time. I recognize that they're a team built on greatness. They have quite the dynasty in the sport of basketball. But I wasn't really a fan. Wasn't really a fan of the Lakers for a while. It wasn't until they got a little scrappy. And the Lakers guys, like my favorite Lakers players from back in the day are like the nobody Lakers guys, right? Like think about before before Kobe Bryant came on the Lakers, who was their backcourt? Do you remember this? It's a trivia question. I haven't watched B-ball because of Kobe scared away Shaq, Phil, and others. It's true. Kobe, Kobe was he was a tough personality there, and he wanted it to be his team, and he got his way. Here's what I was getting at though. Before Kobe and after, like post Magic, pre Kobe, and pre Shaq for that matter, you had a scrappy Lakers team that I thought was really cool. You had Nick Van Exel, you had Sedale Threet. Remember Sedale Threet? Guy was rad. Remember that backcourt? Yeah, Nick Van Exel, Vlade Divac. Then you had my main man, Eddie Jones. Dude, I loved Eddie Jones. He was dope. That was like the scrappy, like underground Lakers team that like they were like the little team that could. They, you knew they weren't gonna. It's like watching a bunch of role players that are good players, but they're not the championship caliber team. And what I liked about being a Lakers fan in those days was this idea that they're just a good, like, fundamentally solid team without the superstar. It was cool. And then Shaq came along, and I didn't really know how to feel about him at first. I do like Shaq a lot. I think Shaq as a person is really, really a neat person. He's really interesting. There's a little while there where he drove me a little bit crazy. I will say I kind of liked Shaq back when he was with Penny Hardaway and the Magic. That was an exciting team to watch. There was a lot of fun basketball moments back in those days when they, the days of the franchise superstar, where you didn't have, for free agency wasn't quite as rampant. But yeah. Okay. So we talking a little basketball too. See, we're allowed to talk basketball. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the Clippers these days. They definitely have a bunch of players that I like, but I don't know how I feel about the team, which is weird. And I was a Clippers fan for a while. I typically like the teams that, like, Larry Brown had something to do with, or that he focused around, because I'm a big Larry Brown fan as a coach. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Any thoughts on what color the skirt, the shoes, and the kerchief have to be the same color, and the other color is white, so literally we can go almost any color you want. I think we're gonna give her blonde hair, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Blonde hair, red hair? I mean, she has really fair skin, so we could do. You know what? We could try to do something. We could try to do something a little darker. Maybe like a really rich blue. Let's try it. Let's do like this Russia blue. Let's start there. Or we could even do as the undercoat. Like, we could go really dark. Like black gray as the undercoat. And then just build up to a blue. Redhead? Okay, so if she's a redhead, then I say we do purple for the skirt and the, like, I say we go back to this if she's, well, maybe not. Maybe a green. Redheads with green. That's kind of a thing. That looks good. We could also do. Thing is, I'm not a big fan of the greens that I have. Just try to find. I mean, this is a totally experimental model anyway. We can pick any color we like. I've been liking this teal lately. That might look kind of cool. I don't know. Let's try dark Prussian blue. Screw it. We'll do dark Prussian blue, and then if you want her to be a redhead, I think we can do that. Does she have like a bow or anything in her hair? I think so. Yeah, she's got a little. So stuff like this, I'll thin with water. Mike, Brewers, dude. They're such cool models. I just barely started Brewers. I'm going to have to paint all that tartan, though. Ugh. Ugh. Not looking forward to that. Boop, 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 boop. So, as much as I love Guild Ball, I've been playing quite a bit of it lately, and I need to get back to. I need to play some of the other games that I also really enjoy, just to kind of keep it fresh. So Relic Knights being one of those. Probably play some Ninja All-Stars too. Hey, Mike, you going to Comic-Con this year? Curious. So I'm supposed to be going to Comic-Con this year to do Guild Ball and Super Dungeon Explorer. Man, this sculpt is awesome. There are a few Pinterest pics on painting tartans. Yeah, it's, it doesn't sound hard in theory. It's the tediousness of it. And in my case, the difficulty of trying to paint straight lines, because I'm not a straight line guy. Also, oh, you're not going to Comic-Con, okay. Next question. Did you know that, are you going to watch the Voltron reboot that comes out this weekend on Netflix? I'm excited about that. I am very excited about that. I don't like reboots. I hate almost every single reboot I've ever seen. But there are a couple recently that I do think are worth looking at. And one of them is the Voltron reboot, because it's done by the studio that did Knights of Sidonia, and they did what's the recent one about the demigod, where they have the people that they like can't be killed. Let's see. I tried to buy tickets back in February. Oh yeah, that was a mess, dude. I was not. I was actually not that intent on going this year, but Gabe said he wanted to go. So, and I don't like saying no to guys like Gabe, because Gabe is rad. So I was like, okay, we'll do another year of Comic-Con. If you're interested in teaching people Super Dungeon Explorer, I could use some help. I do not have Netflix, but I'm going to get it. Yeah, Voltron. I'm excited about it. I am. I'm excited about it, which is weird. I don't like like I said, don't like reboots. 9 times out of 10, I think they're awful. But the creators, from what I've seen, they really are trying to keep it as close to the original canon as possible, and I like that. When you're retelling stuff, when you're rebooting stuff, it is cool to innovate and add stuff to it. I mean, that's part of the point, is you're enhancing a story in its retelling. But I think that oftentimes when they try to enhance a story, they end up chopping up or distorting, things that are kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of sacred in the grand scheme of the story that they're retelling. One example of that for me, in my opinion, would be like the late 90s, early 2000, I forget what year it was, remake of Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg, right? Don't get me wrong, I like Mark Wahlberg, whatever. He's a cool actor, fun to watch, and that kind of thing. But Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes, was just such a profound movie. I feel it's what it the number of messages, different messages it had in it was just, for its time, or even, I mean, it stands the test of time. It's still saying very, very important things about our society today. The original Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes, it has profound statements to say about race, about religion, about society in general. That movie is fantastic. I mean, it's a G-rated movie, and it just manages to speak to so many important things all at the same time. And then when Mark Wahlberg, when they redid the movie, for whatever reason, they tried to make it like more like a sci-fi movie, and it didn't carry a lot of the same kind of critique of modern society that was the entire point of the movie. That was the entire gist of the movie. Now, granted, I don't really like mixing political messages in with my entertainment, but that's the foot that they led in with. That was the point of that movie, and there's no mistaking it. And so when you move it all of a sudden, then I have a problem with it. So it's stuff like that. If you were to take a movie that had no political message, like Caddyshack, right? Caddyshack, right? And suddenly it's a statement about, I don't know, we'll just make some shit up, Wall Street, right? If you were to inject a political statement in a reboot version of Caddyshack, and besides, you can't redo Caddyshack anyways, because all the most awesome people are dead, except for Bill Murray. And Chevy Chase is, he's not going to be able to carry that movie. But you know what I mean. Don't inject something. The gist of Caddyshack was kind of obnoxious humor and basically stupidity, and it's fun. It's that's the fun of that movie. It did have a little bit of class warfare in it, but if you were to make the whole movie about that and like try to say some deep, meaningful statement using a movie like Caddyshack, I'd be pretty pissed about that. But let's see. What the blue and white are you doing? What's the matter, man? You don't like my? Come on, she's teacher's pet. She's teacher's pet. Yeah. The Marky Mark version was horrible, but the recent version is good. Yeah, and that's that's another problem. I want to watch the recent version, but I can't wash the terrible taste out of my mouth from the Marky Mark version. I can't do it. Can't do it. All right. How do we do red hair? See how I change topics like that? How do we do red hair? I will show you how I do red hair, and then you guys can feel free to laugh or point or whatever. Okay? Believe it or not, I do red hair starting with orange. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of orange, and you can go as anime as you like. Like you could go like full on Carrot Top hair. We're not doing that. As much as anime as this is, we're not doing that. So I'm going to take a bunch of orange like that. Then you add, you're going to add a brown to it, and the amount and tone of the brown is really going to define what kind of red hair you're doing. So if you want like a more natural red hair, you might go with something like a beige brown. If you want like a real subtle red hair, you can go with a deeper brown. If you still want to stay more anime style, you can go with a light brown. Okay. I am what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna go with just a little bit of this white brown. That way, if I don't like it, I can always go darker. Much easier to go darker than it is to go lighter. So, and essentially what you're looking for is about 1:4 ratio. So 1:4 ratio of that light brown into the clear orange. And then you're going to thin that. And yeah, this is I think the color I'm getting here is a little more like a pumpkin color. Yeah. This is it's a little pale. It's a little pale, but once I wash it, it should be okay. Wow, that is a little bit pale. It's okay. By the way, when you use these inorganics to mix in with the brighter colors, it does actually give them quite a bit of strength. It gives them, good, the coverage increases on them there because you've given that intense color a little bit of bone. Yeah, so you can see this is a really, really light red hair. Because Mike said red hair. Didn't know you were a fan of the redheads. I'm trying to recall if I've ever dated a redhead. I don't think I have. No, yeah. No, I don't think I've ever dated a redhead. I found some redhead attractive, just never dated a redhead. I dated someone who dyed their hair red, and I don't think that counts. Firecrotch. Yeah, that's true. This is like a Lindsay Lohan type of red hair, isn't it? It's definitely Lohan-esque. Oh, I think she has like a flower in her hair too. When you can see how thin that orange is, it's not going to cover on the first coat. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm excited about the Voltron reboot. The other reboot I'm really excited about is the Japanese Godzilla. Really excited about that. The Japanese have reclaimed Godzilla, and they got what was right with Godzilla in the first place, right? Because I love Godzilla. I'm sure a lot of you guys loved Godzilla growing up, loved watching Godzilla. My kid loves Godzilla because he's got good taste. So we loved Godzilla. We grew up on Godzilla. I always wanted to be the guy in the Godzilla suit. I thought that would be the greatest job of all time growing up. I still think it would be probably one of the best jobs ever to have, is to be the guy in the Godzilla suit. So when they redid Godzilla with the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, and then they did the more recent Godzilla, in America, they kept screwing up. They kept screwing up that one fundamental important thing with Godzilla, which is it's not a Godzilla movie unless you have a guy in a rubber suit stepping on tanks and buildings. Like you can't CGI your way around Godzilla. There's absolutely no appeal to a CGI Godzilla. It's just not, like, who cares? Who cares? At that point, you're watching, you're just watching some weird version of Jurassic Park. You're not really watching Godzilla. Godzilla is the guy in the suit. And when the Japanese took it back and they put the guy back in the suit, now I'm back in, right? I generally don't like reboots, but when the people care enough to capture that important aspect, that key thing about the movie, about the franchise, then I'm back in. Then you got me. But if you're just using a brand to introduce new people or whatever, not that interested in it. So, okay. So while that's drying, let's do a little highlight on the blue. So I'm going to add a little azure to my dark Prussian blue. And we'll start layering up the skirt. I really should have been painting tartans tonight, but I just couldn't do it. Had to upgrade my my network. I'm hoping. Well, no, I was supposed to. We were going to try to stream a live game of Guild Ball tomorrow night. I don't think that's going to happen now. Tonight was my night, and I screwed up, and I didn't think. We figured maybe Jose would be around tomorrow, but it's not going to happen. So I'll be looking for games tomorrow. So there's that. If anyone's interested in coming out to Orange County, playing a couple games with me, that would be cool. I'd hate to, I am willing to travel, but trying to save a little bit of money here, so trying to save on the gasoline. Okay. Man, I really love this miniature. Just super fun mini. I gotta use it for something now. Like, I gotta use this mini for Relic Knights, or I don't know, even Guild Ball. She would make a pretty cool Guild Ball mini. She looks like she's, you could stick a Guild Ball right there at her foot, and it look like she's kicking one. She's got a lot of the same, like, similar poses. As most of the Guild Ball minis. So I think she'd work just fine. The red hair is almost dry enough to wash, not quite. In fact, I need to get some deep corners up in here. I need to hit. There we go. Okay, let's do another highlight on the blue. There's like really nothing to this mini. Once you get the major stuff done, there's not much to her. Let's see. Seeing a little bit of detail in the face, right? Oh, get closer. There we go. There's her face. The Linny Lohan. Now she does look like a Lohan. That's totally. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Let us mix a little more blue and white essentially together. and do another highlight here. And we're just going to do like edge highlighting. She could be a Masons player. Actually, you know what? I could use her as my vet Harmony fig until until the model physically comes out. I could do that. Right? She could be a vet. She could be vet Harmony. I think I shall use her as that. She's going to be my new vet Harmony. The Scarlet Star. All right, last little highlight on the blue. And we are almost done with this miniature. I was looking at Kickstarter today. Something I should never do because Kickstarter is not the best idea most of the time. But I was on there because I was basically, confirming my my Anima video game order, which I started playing, and I might, if I actually start enjoying the game, I might actually start streaming some live play of me playing the new Anima video game. But anyway, there's not a lot on there right now for miniature games. And I thought that was kind of cool. Not a whole lot on there right now for minis. And I think that, I think it's because on the mini side, we might have just overdone it. So I think we're all kind of taking a little bit of break from Kickstarter. Cool Mini or Not still has a Kickstarter on there because they always tend to have a Kickstarter on there, or Soda Pop. They tend to have them. But there wasn't a whole lot on there. That's kind of cool. Kind of proud of us miniature guys for having some self-control and surviving that wave of everything being on Kickstarter. These days, I did say, that said, I did look at a set of solid copper dice that I almost bought because I love fancy dice. I love fancy dice, which is weird because I don't really like the dice games. I tolerate the dice fantastic game, but given my druthers, I would rather be playing a card-based game like Relic Knights or something like that. Okay. Let's what did I do with that black gray? So now I'm going to work a little bit on the base. So I'm giving that hair still isn't 100% dry. Not dry enough to wash yet. Because that's the next step on the hair. It's like, got to wash it, but we're still waiting on stuff to dry. So I'm going to take some black gray. Black gray, a little bit of white. And we're going to make a little highlight color for the diamond plate base that I've got. That's good enough. And we're going to give it a real quick little dry brush. So it might be there's no one else has projects that they're working on or what they should be working on or anything like that. Okay. Let's grab a little dry brush. This one's good. These little makeup brushes for dry brushes. So I'm gonna give this plate a little bit of texture. Right. I know it doesn't look like I've done anything to it yet, but that's what a dry brush should look like. Let's see. Besides the Brewers, 15 mil Sci-Fi from Clear Horizon. Nice. They sound like fun. Yeah. As much as I'm loving painting Guild Ball stuff, I just needed a little bit of a break. I'll get back to Brewers this weekend. And I need to pack the stuff I'm selling on eBay, which right now is a butcher's team. Got a butcher's team on eBay and some old Malifaux stuff for a friend. Just looking to get rid of his stuff because he's moving, so he's like, yeah, need to get rid of stuff, and I could throw it away, or we could just make any little bit of money because $5 is better than $0. So I've been selling his stuff for the past month and a half, which actually he's not doing too bad. He's doing okay on the sales. So scratchy that looks. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. Okay. Still looks really, really scratchy. Let's get a little bit of like sharp highlighting on there on the edges. And frankly, the only real reason why I'm doing this is because I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the red hair to dry. Okay. Any complaints about the quality of the stream or anything? Or my connection good? It's kind of what I'm trying to find out tonight. How is the quality of the streaming? Is that a resin base or did you use one of the stamps? I stamped it. This is Happy Seppuku. I think they're cool. I can tell I'm not doing the best job painting this, but those stamps are quite cool. But hopefully, if my technique works here, we don't have to worry about how bad I did my edge highlight. I'm just waiting. I'm just hoping the technique kicks in. Right? Looks a little weird right now, I know. Just trust in the, I always like to say, trust in the process. And you'll see what you're, then when you don't get the result you want, then you can be mad. Then you could be pissed. Or you could try to figure out what did you screw up in the process such that it didn't give you the outcome you were hoping for. Okay. All right. So it looks like crap, right? Looks like a nightmare. Let's let that dry for a sec. We're gonna use, so I use Seraphim Sepia on red hair because it works really nice. And you don't really have to do anything. Just run it over there. Just run it over the hair and it does all the work. Yeah, you can tell that's a nice, that turned out to be a good hair color. Seraphim Sepia is just going to give it a little bit of depth and shadow. And you can go back, like if that's a little too brown for you, you can go back and re-highlight it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let that dry and hit only very specific spots. All right, so we're almost done. Let's go ahead and let's fix all this. Wait, sorry, I need a little bit of white along this edge. Okay, all right. All right, so now we're gonna take an ink glaze and we're gonna hit this, and it should look cool. Let me show you what an ink glaze is. So I take one of these, like just take the bottom of a base, right? Then you take some glaze medium, and you put that many drops of it in. Then you take some black ink. Ratio is about 4:1. So in this case, 1, 2, 3 drops should be okay. Then you're going to take some water. That's about 5, 6 drops of water there. Then you're going to mix it up. You can see how super runny it got. That's what you want. You want super, super runny. All right. Now, so here's my ink glaze. Okay. And now I'm just going to apply that liberally on the base here. Now, if you really want to be cool, you could do like a purple looking ink glaze. You know, use purple ink. You can do blue. If you're doing non-metallic gold, what you should do is, instead of putting 2 drops, it's the same concoction, but you only do like 1 drop of black and like 3 drops of brown ink, and then let that dry. So that softened up, you can see that softened up the lines a little bit. It gave it a little bit of sheen. And then when it dries, it should look somewhat like a metallic color to it. Now, if you want to stay a little more sharp, you could come back with a white glaze and hit the edges again, and that would look cool. But yeah, she's looking pretty good. I think she's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to take some of my red hair. It's not quite. I'm going to need to add a little bit of golden yellow to it, because I want a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to add that to my orange mixture. There we go. And that should give me just a little bit of a highlight. I could also paint the little ribbons in the hair, because I think this model has. Hold on, we'll look at the art here. First, I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight on the red hair. Right? It's pretty subtle. With these big, like, sweeping areas here, you have to be careful about how you're highlighting. You don't want it to overpower. You want it to look like there's okay. See? All right. Let's look at the artwork here. I think she's looking pretty awesome, though. Kind of a fan now. Uh-oh. My stream just broke up. Is my stream getting bad? Oh. All right. Let's look at the cards. So she has like a little pink flower in her hair. It's a little pink bear, actually. It's like a bear's head in there. I don't want to paint that. It's annoying. All right. Here's what we'll do. We'll just put a little bit of color, just a little bit, to acknowledge that there's something there, but I'm not painting a tiny little bear face right there. Not here. And you can make of that what you will. All right. And then finally, we're just gonna put a little black around the lip. And that should kind of give the model its cool, formal look. I'm not sure how I feel about the skin yet. I added too much water. I'll throw a little more paint in there. All right. Yeah, is it, can you guys please let me know, is it better, worse, or equal to what the quality stream that you typically get when I do my my weekly show here? I'm totally using the wrong brush. The diamond plate's a little boring. Or not diamond plate, but the tech plate, whatever you call this stuff. It's a little bit boring. Wow. This black is not behaving either. There you go. Okay. Let her dry. Good. Let me show you flint that I painted last night. So here's flint from the other night. Whoop. Fun model. Can't wait to get him on the field and start kicking that ball. But here, see, they're not totally unlike each other, right? Like that could be a guild ball model. Just Japanese schoolgirl outfit. But they got the same pose. Works for me. Okay, so while that's drying, I'll show you what other ones I have. I've got this one. And I got to fix her face too. In fact, maybe I'll do that while we've got a little bit of time here. We'll work on fixing her face. Because that's just a great miniature. I love the Takahashi line. It's my favorite. I think it's my favorite line of miniatures. It's not, unfortunately, there's no direct game that it's tied to, but whatever. And you want to know what else I did? I did not finish painting this lady's hair. Really kind of sad. Ah, geez. Screwed up already. That's what happens. Once the black goes down, you're going to have problems. Oh, geez. Big problems. Big problems. Oh, my gosh. They just ran everywhere. That was terrible. I don't know how that occurred. That was awful. Wow. All right. Can't believe how runny that was. It took me by surprise there. Okay. Just needed to get one little pigtail done. So let's make some skin again. This time we're going to use, you know what? I think this time we're going to use thinner medium. I'm just going to keep trying different ones until I have one that I really like. Matte medium from Vallejo seemed to work okay. Well, let's try thinner medium. I think thinner medium may work even better. Because it already looks like it's flowing out better. There it goes again. My feed just popped out again. Nobody seems to be commenting. Maybe everybody fell asleep. I don't know. Maybe you guys want me to rant politics again. I hope not. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Now I see the issue already. One eye is a little bit higher than the other one. But I can fix that. Or I can at least try to alleviate it. But yeah, in the sculpt, it looks like there's one. Already looks better. The face already looks better. I think this may be the way to go. Thinner medium. Just straight thinner medium. You don't even need a flow improver or anything. Okay. I'm pretty good. It is too bad that the one eye actually does sit a little higher than the other one. A little bit of that Shannon Doherty eye. Oh, is that rough? Does that mean? You can tell me. Shannon Doherty eyes do that. Like there's one eye that sits higher than the other one. It's like objectively Van Goghian. Okay. Yeah, that thinner medium really helped. That was nice. This works great with this paint. I feel like I'm actually painting well. When you're painting well, you can paint fast. Which is fantastic. All right. Here, let me give you a little close-up on her face. So yeah, one of the eyes just does sit a little bit higher than the other one. Whoa. She is. It's another fun miniature. She's got a maid outfit on, so I may have to go like a real deep navy for her outfit, and then white on the apron parts. You know, like your standard maid outfit. There's not a whole lot left to paint on this model. There you go. She does look pretty cool, though. All right. So let's get some. So if you go like 1-to-1 with thinner medium, apparently that's the way to go. Yeah, that's nice. It's just really good consistency. She has a weird like bolo tie too. Yeah. Really cool outfit. So I guess this one will be a blonde. Right? So easy. Okay, let's go with black gray as the undercoat, or maybe this intermediate blue. Let's go intermediate blue. Sounds right. Let's do it. Oh yeah, looks like that's the right color. Yeah, we're just gonna keep painting. Why not? I don't know. I just feel like it. Is that part white? Or, on. Yeah, the little sleeve, the little cuff sleeves are white. Okay. So I went a little too far there. I'll fix that. So I'm not following it to a T, but I'm trying to at least get the basic design of the maid outfit correct. Okay. We're back in dead silence, but you can ask me anything. Pretty cool. Yeah. Like the French maid outfit. Yeah, paint the hair. There's not like, once you do the skin and the face, these Takahashi miniatures paint up pretty quick. They're not like Guild Ball or some of those other lines that are really cool looking, but they have so much tedious little detail work that it kind of drives you a little crazy. Oops. That's not right. What am I doing wrong here? That's not right. That should actually be white. Like the apron, right? Or am I? No, I had it right. It should be dark. Just the edge is white. Okay. Well, that makes it easier. Like that. The Japanese really like the French made look. And you see that used so often. There you go. Let's do the sneakers in black except for the bow. Like that. I don't think I'm going to finish this one tonight. Even though there's like next to nothing left to do on the miniature. I just don't feel like finishing her tonight. I'll paint in the hair just so you can kind of see where I'm going with the model. But yeah, I'll finish painting her another night. All right. Now let's do, so for blonde hair, I start with a color called yellow ochre. You know what? There's a, I'm gonna paint a little bit of the paint that. Little maid cap or whatever it's called. I'll paint that in. And we'll highlight that in a minute. All right. Let that dry for just a second. Let's do yellow ochre on the hair. And then with blonde, I decide if I'm doing like a platinum blonde or a dirty blonde. It's always good to start off, like I said, lighter. And then if you don't like it, you can always take it down darker. And that's much easier than trying to go at it the other direction. She has some real goofy hair, this chick. Really weird shaped. Starting to like it. Am I the only one like this where I, before I paint a model, I often think, oh, it's going to be awful. I don't like this model. I think it's going to be terrible. And then as you paint it, you really start to appreciate what they did with the sculpt. And you start getting happier with the paint job. And that happens to me a lot. With, when you're painting miniatures from different lines, and you have to get used to sculptors and how they sculpt the miniature, how they break the miniature. Coming along. She's coming along. Okay. Let's do a little bit of white. And that, I think that's going to be enough for one night. We'll just do that and I'll call it. I have to get up and go to work tomorrow. Ooh. Actually, I need to fix a little something on her. All right. I need to do the thinner medium. All right. We're doing the white. Thinner medium makes it a little bit harder to control the white, but it does look fantastic when it goes down. Love it. Okay. I got enough time to do another little layer in the hair. Let's do it. No little spots to put my paint though. So close. I think I may finish tonight. Just to get another miniature out of the way. All right. Let's do the shading. On the diamond plate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we're doing the diamond plate, or whatever you call this kind of plate. I don't think it's diamond plate because it's not diamond shape. It's called some kind of plate, though. That much is sure. Do a little bit of, since I got like such a long flat area, paint a little bit of that in there. Okay. Remember how ugly and weird the other one looked? And now we're doing it on this one. That's right. So you guys have a reasonable expectation of what this should look like. It's drying down, right? All right, here we go. Let's do a little close up on the face here. There you go. See? Looking all right. It's, I already have the ink glaze done, so now all I have to do is just run the ink glaze over it. All right. And then we just hit it with some black. And there we go. That I have no intention of selling, which is kind of unusual for me the past month or so. Okay. And then we just let her dry. And there you have it. 2 minis out of the way, and then we'll get back to Brewers. That's super fun. Super fun models. And I'll use them for Guild Ball and Relic Nights and stuff like that. So they're not going to be completely wasted, but they're super cool. Okay. Anyways, looking really choppy. That's going to do it for this video. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.